Hello Lovelies, it's Megan and I'm here with a pen pal letter tutorial, so let's get started. The paper pad that I chose is called The Shop on the Square by the Paper Studio. But don't feel like you have to use this one. Get creative and use something that you already have, or doodle on some white cardstock, anything. Alright, so you want to cut your paper to smaller than your envelope. Of course, no brainer right there. So I cut mine to 4 inches by 6.5 inches. Alright, the next step is to punch out embellishments. I'm using a heart punch by Fiskars. And then I'm going to double them to make a 3D effect. So you can either staple them or you can sew them down. I sewed mine down. Alright, so now you're going to fold the top layer up to make it 3-dimensional. Now I love this because it can lay flat in your envelope. Alright, so now I am creating the inside pocket with vellum paper. I just laid it on top and drew a line and then cut it out. Now you can leave it straight, or you can use wavy scissors, or you can use regular scissors and make a wave of your own. Now you can attach it with washi tape, or you can sew it. Now I'm going to attach it with glossy accents. I would not recommend using glossy accents if you are using thread, because I found out the hard way and it does not stick. Now I'm creating the inside pocket to hide my seam, or in your case, maybe staples. So I cut mine to 6.5 inches by 1 3/4 inches. Now you're just going to glue the bottom, the side, and the top. But make sure you leave the inside open because it's a pocket. Now I'm just going to trim the bottom off of my pocket. Alright, so now I'm just going to embellish my letter with some leftover heart embellishments. Now it's time to create your letter binding. Letter binding? Letter book binding. I don't know. Alright, so you just want to put tape on the top piece halfway, and then you're going to fold it over to the back side. Like so. And then cut off the excess off the top and the bottom. Now I didn't get mine lined up perfectly, so I have to add an extra piece of tape to cover up the gap where it's sticky. But I would recommend doing this anyway because it makes it more sturdy. So just trim it off. Top and the bottom again. I'm just folding it to get the crease where I want it. Now, because I use such wide washi, I kind of wanted to break it up with some extra paper. And I thought it added a cute little added interest. Alright, so this is my actual letter. I am making a book. So I cut my paper to 4 inches by 6.5 inches and then just folded it in half. And then for the inside part of my book, I just used regular copy paper that you would put in a printer. And depending on how long you want your letter is how many pages you want to use. And then you can either staple it shut, well not shut, staple it on the binding, or sew it. And then to cover the binding, I just used washi like we did earlier on our actual letter book. And then it slips perfectly in the little pocket that we created earlier. Alright, so now I'm decorating my mini book with a doily, and I just attach it with glossy accents. Now, like I said, you don't have to use glossy accents. This is what I had on my table, so it's the first thing I grabbed. So Now I'm trying to decide how I want to decorate it. Possibilities are endless, but I ended up just putting a heart on the bottom to match the rest of my book. And just slipped it in the pocket. Alright, so this is something really cute that I like to make. I just took some vellum paper. Now this could be vellum, it could just be scrapbook paper, anything, and you just make a long strip like 2 inches by, I don't know, probably 8 inches, or it could be smaller. And then you fold the side up, and then you make a little lip and you fold that over, and it kind of reminds me of a tea packet, like a tea bag. And then you just tape the sides, and there you go. You have a really easy pocket. And it can be any size you want, small, big, you name it. And then you just put your goodies in there. This would also be really cute as like a shaker pocket. So I'm just putting punched paper in there with some of my favorite punches, and then some sequins. I'm sorry if you heard my cat. She wants to be part of the video. Alright, and then I'm just going to tape it shut with the gold to match the rest of my letter. Now I'm just adding a little bit more extra embellishments on my letter. Now banners are super easy. You just make a strip and then you just do a diagonal cut, and it really makes an impact on your letter, but it was really easy to do and perfect for scraps. And then once again, I'm using my heart embellishments to carry out the theme of my letter. Alright, so this is how I assembled my letter. I put my little book on the side pocket, a recipe, some project life cards, bookmark, and then on the back I put my goodie bag. So that's my pen pal letter, and I'm going to close it with a DIY paper clip, and I also have a tutorial on this on my channel. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope this inspired you to get creative, and if you have any comments or anything, I would love to hear them. Toodles!